Well, so I was started writing the book actually while I was still, before I even thought of exiting. And then when I exited it, that was where I kind of leaned into, because it was something that was important for me. And it was all around how I leveraged this tool of core values to create high growth scale, right? I call it invisible scale in my book. And it's my go-to tool. It's like, if I'm a carpenter, that's my hammer. Because I believe core values are the language of accountability. And for me, how do you build the most high level accountability is by creating high utility core values that can be viral in the organization. And then it becomes a tool for strategy and execution. And for me, I'm almost like, I have a very like almost engineering mindset around it. How do I take this thing and then weave it around everything we do to create more productivity, more engagement, more profit, more impact, a better place to work. And those all become this like flywheel that creates more value and gets faster. And so when I exited, I got asked by someone if they would help a friend of theirs, scale their business. And I said, I'm not interested in that. I'm just, I was kind of, I told myself I was going to take all of 2020 off, and then COVID hit. I got focused on the book. And then when the book was launched, I got asked to do this project, and I just said, I'm taking the rest of the year off, man. Like I wasn't even planning on working at all this year. I was supposed to be in Spain. I was going to take my family and move to Spain for a year.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was what was supposed to happen. I should be in Spain literally right now. But with COVID, that got derailed, and that's not happening anymore.
I think your clients are really fired up that didn't happen, because you've got some raving fans.
That's true. It's true. I think they're very stoked I'm not drinking sangria right now. So I got in there. I started working with these guys. It's an 8-figure company, and they're just really trying to scale. Like their goal is to, basically 10x their business in the next 3 years, which totally doable for them. But it was getting my hands dirty, and it was coming in from a different perspective. And I started with them in October, but I said, hey, September, we'll just send me a bunch of stuff. I want to start digging in. And again, having this perspective that I talked about before, which is, if I was CEO, I go in, I'm like, if I was a CEO, what would I do? I don't care what they say. I'm like, I need information from you. But like, I've got blinders on, and I'm like, and then I come up with the plan and we start working on it.
And you have no bias either. That's what's nice.
Yeah.
You can walk in, and it's not like you're saying, well, we've always done it this way, so let's just keep doing it this way. In fact, we should change something else. You actually come in and you say, well, let me just look at everything. Every option's on the table. It's a total clean slate,
Well, yeah. And there's all these best practices I learned over the years that it doesn't matter what kind of business you are. So I have a client, one of my clients is literally a cannabis company in California. Another one is a BPO in India. Another one is a poultry company in Canada. And with them, it's more of a specialized project. But a lot of them are in the mortgage space, because that's where I came from. But they're all over the place. And one of them is a marketing education company in Florida. So I don't care. Every company has the same issues: strategy, people, process, cash, accountability. It's all the same.
Yep.
And most businesses know their business. They know their business. That I'm not going to tell them how to run their business better from the perspective of domain expertise. How I'm going to tell them, I'm going to look at it and say, are you set up to scale quickly, efficiently, and profitably, regardless of the product? Product doesn't matter. Product is a widget. Widget's a widget. I could care less about widgets. That's what got me into trouble with subprime, because I just saw it as a widget, right? I didn't really dig into like what the product was. But when mortgage, I used to tell my staff, I'm like, I don't care about the product. I'm happy we put people in homes, but it's just a widget. What I care about is building a high growth, high impact, highly scalable business. And I was the expert on scale. So when I go into my clients, I just say, if I was CEO, how would I scale this business? And it's always the same. All right, let's look. Do you have this? Nope. Do you have this? Yep. You have that? Nope. You have this? Yep. And I have a 50 question checklist. And I go through it. And I think it's out of a score of 100. I think my highest client score is 50 at this point out of 100. The lowest is 19. And I'm like, all right, I'll get you to 90. It'll take me time. And there are all these best practices for running a company. It has nothing to do with the product or the industry. That's all. It doesn't matter. It's human beings. You want people to show up, do their job properly, care about the business, watch dollars and cents, and execute on the strategy, and make sure there is a strategy. It's the same.